It's Bob here, back again at Turn 4 Automotive Performance. Sorry about the noise here, but as you can tell, we're outside. As you can tell, we're outside. We're outside of the shop here with my truck. Christi, the Kreger F150. Many of you that saw the introduction video, we went over some of the special things that were in the Kreger edition. Again, 75 of these built on record. 75 in the country, 75 in the world. They were only released to America. They had a 5.4 liter, 3-valve V8. This one, we have added a supercharger to it off a Foose Edition truck, a Roush Stage 3 supercharger. They also came with a 22 by 9 inch Kreger wheel with a 305/40/22 tire. They came with a special front valence, rear valence, side skirts, fender flares, grille, hood scoop, and color match mirrors like the FX2 had. This one, we have the factory side skirts, the factory fender flares. We've added on Foose rear bed skirts, Foose rear bumper valence, and a Foose Roush 3D carbon front bumper valence that we painted two-tone black insets and the white to match the truck. The grille on this truck is a Saleen style grille made specially for the Kreger and Saleen trucks. It is just the grille that goes in the factory shell. The hood scoop is a stick-on, bolt-on hood scoop. It isn't cut out as of now. We're going to continue doing that this winter as we continue to work on it. As you can tell, this truck looks quite a bit different from my intro video that I posted just over a month ago. What we've done to this truck since, like I said, we've already added the Roush Stage 3 supercharger. We've already repainted the hood scoops and stuff like that. We've gone ahead and added a custom front mount air-to-water intercooler, big old racing intercooler off a race car. We're running new tubing to that currently. The tubing isn't hooked up right yet. We're also going to be upping the boost. We're going to put on a different pulley on the supercharger. A 2.75 inch pulley should bring the boost up between 10 and 12 PSI. We still have to finish hooking up that intercooler, but as you can see, we've also done some work on the suspension of this truck. We've changed the wheels and tires. We've added on 22 by 10 inch drop star 654 black and machined wheels. These are negative 24 offset, nice little bit of poke outside the fenders over the factory 22 by 9 Kreger SS style with a plus 30 offset. These tires, we went from a 305/40/22 tire that came factory on this truck to a 265/35/22. It's about 1.5 inches, 2 inches shorter overall tire diameter. Fits in there nice and well. We've also lowered the suspension on this truck. We've added Beltec drop struts in the front. Sorry, the wind took my camera there for a minute. We've added Beltec drop struts in the front. They're set at -2 inches right now. We've also got -3 inch Beltec springs painted the factory Kreger blue that these ones came. We've also on the rear of this run the same tire and wheel setup. The same tire, a Hankook 265/35/22, the 22 by 10 drop star wheel. We've taken out the factory 4-inch drop leaf spring and added on a Beltec flip kit on the rear suspension. The flip kit lowers the truck between 5 and 6 inches with the supplied shackle. We've put on our lowering shackle to go with it. So we're at about -8 in the rear and -5 in the front. Nice little drop on this truck over factory. We've also got we've taken off the factory hard tonneau cover, put on this nice Lund Elite Genesis soft black, flat black tonneau cover. Matches all the black accents on this truck really well. We've got tinted tail lights. We've got blacked out headlights that we use at shows and those purposes only. We do have a regular set of black housing headlights that came factory on this truck for when we do drive around on the streets and with the public. We've also on this truck added a custom 2.5 inch exhaust from the headers back. We added on Flowmaster Scavenger headers. We've added on Vibrant high flow race cats with 2.5 inch pipe the whole way. Those 2.5 inch race cats feed themselves into 2 individual pipes that go back to a MagnaFlow dual in, dual out muffler. It comes out of the muffler, up over the rear end, and then dumps out the back of the truck with some MBRP flat black 4.5 inch exhaust tips. Very nice tone on this truck. We'll give you a listen right here. As I said before, we've changed the rear bed skirts on this truck and the rear bumper valence. This bumper valence is off my Foose Edition truck that I unfortunately wrecked last year. We've got the exhaust coming out the factory Foose holes. Gives a nice little look to the back of this truck. We did have to do some modifications on the rear side skirts, so go ahead and check out this video when we added the dual exhaust onto this truck. We've since pulled that dual exhaust off this truck and added in our own custom exhaust as we talked about earlier. Of course, the rear graphics on the window are custom. We do that ourselves as well in-house. And the back of these trucks had a very, very sought-after Kreger tailgate panel. Celine trucks had a similar panel, not the same, but very similar. Goes from taillight to taillight, and again with the blacked out taillights looks very well, I think. I'm a big fan of it. It might be hard to tell what this truck is when it's coming down the road at you. There are no Ford emblems anywhere on the outside of this vehicle. The only Ford emblem on this vehicle is on the steering wheel, and we'll show you that now. So now we're going to go inside the truck. Got the door open, factory FX2 door panels, front and rear. We've got the WeatherTech vent visors on the outside. Inside the truck, you'll see a Kreger floor mat, custom Kreger logo on the floor mat. The Ford logo on the steering wheel, again, the only Ford logo on this truck. You'll also see a touchscreen, in-dash CD player. It's got MP3 and Bluetooth added into it. These touchscreens, I don't know if they're factory. This one looks like it was about the era correct, so I would say it's a factory unit that these vehicles are sold with. We've also added the upgraded factory subwoofer out of the Foose Edition truck as well in the back here. These are all console shift. They are the XLT package, the FX2 that came on the XLT packages. FX2 was its own separate model. We have some of those as well. In addition to the floor mats, the radio, the FX2 console shift, and all the FX2 amenities on the inside, this also has the Kreger editions also have a two-tone leather seat as well as a two-tone steering wheel. The leather seats, instead of the red stitching like all the FX2s get with a sport insignia on them, they have a gray and black leather seat with black stitching, and they also have the sport insignia like the FX2s in the dashboard. The dash features a tach and a speedometer gauge, as well as oil pressure, fuel, water temperature, and battery voltage. As you can see here on the dash, the Kreger Edition trucks had a special emblem. This emblem is all the Kreger Editions had to identify themselves from one another. The emblem reads Kreger Special Edition FT1 Ford Truck 1, and this one is number 0051. You might have noticed earlier in the video, 0051 is the number we have underneath the left side headlight, with a throwback to the old Cobra days when they would have their SVT numbers written on the headlight panel, so the vehicles could be identified significantly from one another. We've already mentioned under the hood of these Kreger Edition F-150s was a 5.4 liter, 300 horsepower, 3-valve V8. The 5.4 3-valve V8 that originally put out 300 horsepower in this truck has been upgraded with a Roush Stage 3 supercharger, which is the OEM supercharger off the Foose Edition pickup trucks. The Foose Edition is rated at 450 horsepower at the flywheel. This one we're going to be going from the factory Foose Roush supercharger pulley to a VMP 2.75-inch pulley. As you can tell, we've also got a custom intercooler on this truck. We've used a racing radiator 2-pass 3-row intercooler, which will cool the water down nicely. This truck doesn't run in the winter time, so we don't need to run antifreeze. We do run straight water with water wetter to keep the boost nice and chilled to our liking. The engine's been outfitted. The only other modifications, the Flowmaster Scavenger headers that we mentioned before in the exhaust video. These trucks originally had a SLP Blackhawk intake, as you can see here, but we've gone ahead and changed that out to a 4.5-inch custom cold air intake with the air filter being mounted directly behind the driver's side bumper and headlight area.